All right, so now to finish this one out with part 3, okay? So we're picking up on this problem right here. We had the algebraic expression 32 plus 1x squared, and we're asked when n equals 3, or instead of n, let's put x instead, just whatever our number was, n or x would have worked. Let's change it to x. So when x equals 3, what is the value of the expression? Okay, well, if x is going to equal 3, that means we need to plug x in for 3. So we're going to write our statement, but instead of putting x, we're going to put parentheses 3. Now, with this square is going to go outside of the parentheses, okay? Now, sometimes it won't matter, sometimes it will, okay? So we're going to always put it outside. We're just replacing the x, not the x squared, okay? So the square is going to be outside. All right, so now we use order of operations to solve this thing, okay? So we have addition and we have an exponent, okay? So order of operations tells me knock out the exponent first. So we're going to have 32 plus 3 squared. That's the same thing as 3 times 3, which will give me 9. And then we finish it out. 32 plus 9 will give me 41, okay? Now we'll do the same thing with this last example, number 8, okay? So write an algebraic expression to represent 16 less than the product of 5 and a number cubed. All right, so we have 16 less, okay? So basically whatever we have in the beginning, we're taking 16 away from it. So 16 less is going to give me minus 16 because I'm taking 16 away from it. Then we have the product of 5 and a number cubed. The product of 5 and a number cubed, okay? So keep in mind, this word product tells me multiplication. So I'm going to multiply 5 times something. And that something is a number cubed, okay? So my number we can represent with x or maybe even n if we want to, okay? Since we're going to want n down here. So x or n, we can just choose any variable we want. And if it says a number cubed, okay, so kind of like up here where it asks for the square of a number, that means x to the second power. Okay, if we think of in terms of area, we always think of something squared. So if anytime you hear a number cubed or the cube of a number, then we're going to be thinking to the third power. Okay, so I know I left a lot of space in there. Let me instead rewrite it like this. So 5n cubed minus 16 will be the phrase that I'm working with. Okay, so we'll go through and answer the same question. So what is the variable? So the variable, the thing that I do not know, I labeled with n. What is the coefficient? The coefficient is the number that is right in front of the variable. It's multiplying to the variable. So in this case, we do have a number there, and that number is going to be 5. Okay, next up, what is the constant? So the constant is going to be the number that is by itself. It does not have a variable attached to it. So that's going to be this number right here. But keep in mind, it's not going to be 16 because that minus sign is connected with a 16. So my constant is instead negative 16. All right, next up, what is the exponent? So what is the thing that the variable is being raised to? That is going to be this little bitty number right here. So the exponent will be 3. And then finally, if n equals 4, then what is the value of the expression? So we're going to take n and we are going to replace it with 4. And once again, we are going to leave the exponent out of the parentheses, okay, out of the parentheses. So we have multiplication between the 5 and the 4 cubed. We have the exponent, the 4 cubed, and we have subtraction. Order of operations tells me knock out the exponent first. So 5 times 4 cubed, which again, to get 4 cubed, we'll type it in as 4 raised to the third power, and then right arrow. So we get 64. So 5 times 64 minus 16. So multiplication and subtraction. Multiplication will come first. 5 times 64 will give me 320 minus 16. And then just one step left. So 320 minus 16 will give me 304.